The following segment is sponsored by NORTHSTAR Financial and Retirement Planning.
Preparing for retirement can be stressful, and if you're feeling nervous about your investments right now and perhaps losing sleep at night, you're not alone. Joining us now are George FOSSING and Zach Jenkins. They're part of the team at NORTHSTAR Financial and Retirement Planning, a local area firm that focuses on preparing people for a successful retirement. George and Zach are also popular radio show hosts, joining us right now in the studio. Good morning to you both.
Good morning, Margaret.
Good morning.
First, what is your take on what we are seeing right now in the stock market?
Well, people are a little anxious out there. I think after January, we got a little subdued, I guess, with last year. It was very nice, and all of a sudden, NASDAQ drops about 10%, the S&P almost 6% in 30 days. That's difficult for people to watch.
Yeah, so people are tossing and turning at night. They're thinking about what's happening in the market. What are some of the major concerns that you're hearing?
Well, the big thing, will it affect us? You know, people are calling in. We've had some viewers call in last couple of weeks, actually, been very busy with people coming in. Will this hurt me? Is this going to be prolonged? If so, you know, what's going to be the consequences? What can we do about it? So a lot of questions being asked, and that's really healthy. You don't want to sit there and wait for something to happen and say it's irreversible.
Right.
So people are in front of that.
So as you're having those conversations, what are you saying to people who are feeling nervous about their investments right now? What do you tell them?
Well, you know, you should ask yourself, hey, do I feel nervous? And if you feel nervous, you should say, why am I nervous? You know, there's some people out there, and you know, maybe they've worked with a professional, and they're not nervous because they know that they've got a plan in place and it's not going to affect them. But if you are nervous, why are you nervous? And maybe you should get what we call a checkup. I'm sure that if you're working with a financial professional, they're probably having a conversation about that. If not, then you might want to bring that up.
You want to make sure you have everything where it's supposed to be. So it's really important for your portfolio to reflect your age and stage of life too, I know. Talk about that.
Yeah, that's a big thing. If you just go back to 2008, there were a lot of people that retired in 2006 or 7, and they had to go back to work after 2008 because of what happened.
Yep.
So it's making sure that your allocations you currently have are still appropriate. They may be the same allocations you've had for years.
Yep.
Is that an appropriate allocation still? We talk about time. Everybody is 13, 14 years older now. Well, do you have time to recover from being 50% down? Because we know that if you're down 50% from where you are today, you need 100% just to get back to where you were. And if you look at 2008, it took folks, in some cases, 5 or 6 years just to get back to where they were. You don't want to be on the sideline waiting. Or
having to go back to work, not being able to spend your money that you saved for. So this is what people just need to avoid it.
Yep. And the sooner you get a checkup, the better you can know where you stand. And before we go, then, what's the number one thing that you think retirees and pre-retirees should avoid doing right now?
Well, the big thing is understanding an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And, as Zach said, we're all older than back in 2008 and such, so our timeline is a lot shorter. Get a checkup. Make the phone call, ask people, say, listen, a financial professional, say, hey, am I going to be okay? And define okay. Be very cautious of listening to your neighbors. They might be smart and such, but they're not you. Your situation is different. And the biggest thing is the consequences in retirement are big. The thing is not being able to spend, not being able to visit your grandkids because your accounts are down. And people with accounts with savings and investments, these are the folks that have sacrificed. I mean, they've saved in advance for be able to spend in retirement, and putting yourself in harm's way and depending on the stock market for happiness is very dangerous. You don't need to do that.
Well, what people do need to do, have a conversation with you. They'll be able to sleep at night. They'll be able to know they're on the right track or make the right moves. So thank you so much for that conversation.
Thanks, Margaret. Appreciate it.
And for those of you at home, if you are currently retired or getting close to retirement, would like to learn more about how you could potentially reduce your future taxes as well as help protect and grow your hard-earned savings and investments, NORTHSTAR Financial has a great offer for you. Right now until February 27th, they're offering a complimentary no-obligation retirement and investment report. The report will include potential tax savings opportunities and ways to reduce the effects of market volatility on your portfolio. Their team will schedule a phone call, a video call, or future in-office meeting so they can speak with you personally and provide you with a roadmap going forward. The number to call now, area code 864-309-8146.